All right. So, excited now that we're here day before the game. We've put our preparation in really for 3 weeks now. I had a chance to get a lot of guys reps, get a lot of guys better for the next, develop them for the next year. But then the last 2 weeks have really been focused on, narrowing things down, and then really for the last 8 days, really focusing on the game plan for Vanderbilt. So we're excited to be here. We've had a good time here in Birmingham. It's always good when you can spend the Christmas holidays with a group of people you're close to. The holidays are about families and friends, and we have over 200 people here that we're all close to, and it's a collection of people that have spent a lot of time together over the last year. And it really is a great opportunity to be together in these holiday times. So, we're excited. We had our final practice today. I thought our guys had really good energy out there. I thought they were focused. I think they were enjoying the final moments of the 2024 Georgia Tech football team, really enjoying them, but there was nothing casual about it. So we're excited for the game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. This is going to be a very competitive game with two teams that are very similar in the way they play the game. And I think this will be a really good matchup, so we're excited.
No mics or anything, so just go ahead.
Go first.
Sure. Obviously, you announced that Kyle is out, and EJ's been a guy who's stepped up some in that role, and obviously Tajay as well. Kind of what are your expectations for EJ now that he's had almost a full season to kind of get himself acclimated back to play?
Tackles. EJ has, he came in and he was hampered by something early on, really all spring. Got it fixed, and about the time he got back healthy from the groin injury that he had, had a real nasty hamstring pull. Really, I think it was the second game of the season, so it really slowed his development down. And the thing I love about Tyler Santucci, I'm saying, Tyler believes in playing a lot of players, right? And that's always been a belief of mine, that you have to play players in the season. You only get experience in practice. You only get so much experience in a practice. You have to get those live reps and be able to execute on the fly and under fire in games. And by playing him in those games early, even where he might have made some mistakes, I think it was really from he made a huge improvement really from that Notre Dame game to the Virginia Tech game. And I think from that Virginia Tech game on, he's really shown improvement every week. And he's big, he's strong, he's physical. He's a guy that's not going to run around blocks. He's going to run through your face. He loves playing on special teams. Always got a smile on his face. He's overcome a lot of adversity to this point, and this season, early on those injuries, really with some of the things he's gone through in his life, that was nothing for him to push through and persevere through it. So excited about the way he's been playing. Excited to have him on the team. And excited for him to continue to develop, throughout the next year. But it's going to be fun watching him play tomorrow.
You mentioned the word focus. Is that more difficult in this type of setting?
I don't think so. It's like when we had our initial meeting here with the police officers always come in and tell guys what to do, what not to do. And I said, look, it doesn't matter what these guys say to you. The culture and the leadership of this team is what's going to provide your guidance. Right? I've been a part of bowl games that, they would get up there and say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. The team parts would do it, and guess what? You usually don't have much success in that game. And I've been a part of teams where they didn't have to say anything because they were going to, check themselves. They, the kids know right from wrong, and they know how to prepare for a game. So anything to deviate from what you normally do during a week in your preparation, usually going to lead to the results that you want.
Coach, this is your stomping grounds. I'm also a Trustful graduate, so is this kind of a homecoming feeling to you?
Wait, what? You're a Trustful graduate?
I am, yes.
When, like 2 years ago?
2019.
5 years ago. Holy cow. Where'd you grow up at?
Trustful.
No doubt. Where at? Oh, see, I said doubt.
Oh.
What part?
Tutwiler Farms is where I.
Tutwiler Farm. So you're a rich one. You're a rich kid. That was the rich kid
That's an
area.
old neighborhood, though. That's
Well, that was not when you graduated in 1996. That was where the rich kids lived. You see, I was from Clay.
Gotcha.
Clay Chalkville was being built when I was in school.
Well, yeah, my mom's she grew up in Clay, near near the oh gosh, what is that? Past Kmart, just back there.
All right, we'll talk later. That's pretty cool. From Trustville. No, it's cool to be back home. Look, it's been 30 years since I was here. A lot of things have changed. A lot of things hadn't changed. I mean, I remember driving by this hotel when I was a little kid, and it was a big to-do, and thinking during, they have a concert at the Civic Center, and they, whatever singer would be staying here, or I don't know, but there's memories. I looked out the window the other night and saw the Regions Bank building had the glass was all done up with the stocking on it and the wreath and all that. That's one of the things I remember from a kid. But how I grew up, where I grew up, had zero impact on this football game, none at all. Had a chance for a couple of good friends from back home to stop by one night and see me for about an hour, and they laughed and said 95% of that I was on the phone recruiting. So there'll be a lot of people. There was some family that came out to practice. It was really good. I got to see my high school coach today, Coach Wood, who he comes to games over in Atlanta a lot, but to have him out there today and had him speak to the team afterwards, that was really neat. But like I said, that has no impact on this game whatsoever. So it's going to be a great crowd here. I think both teams are going to have a lot of fans. So I did see my first ever football game here in Birmingham, live football game in Birmingham at a bowl game, and it was Georgia Tech playing in it. That's probably the biggest correlation I can find. But anytime we get a chance to play football together as a team, right, it doesn't matter where it is, we're going to take full advantage of that.
The portal is obviously insane, as you kind of mentioned. Can you tell me a little bit about Malik and just, I imagine you're happy to have him back, and just kind of I'm sure there's a flow of emotions and thoughts as that was unfolding to.
Yeah, so me and Malik made a decision together to both test this thing out, see what it was like. I jumped in it 2 or 3 times. First time it was a little weird. Second time I was like, all right, I can find my way around a little bit. Third time though, it was weird. It just started spiraling out of control. I said, I'm out of here. I got to get out. So probably kind of the same lines as Malik. She's like, what in the world is going on right now? No, Malik is a great kid. We all know what type of player he is, okay? The reason they created the portal was to continue to provide opportunity for guys that feel like they need opportunity. And, there's a lot of times where different people are trying to help you and provide information, and sometimes you become clouded with it. Right? Not saying it's bad information whatsoever. Right? We all have that in our lives. A bunch of people, talking to us, and sometimes you just have to sort it out yourself. And sometimes it has to hit you that way. There's certain things that guys look for in their college experience. We all know that there's the academic side of it, but then within football, you have the brotherhood, the bonds, the relationships, friendships. All right. Then in the other bucket, you have your development, the competition you're going to go against. Ability to be developed for the next level, ability to play for championships, those things. And then the third part of it now that is different than it was 10 years ago is the value part of it, right? And I can't control how any one person or one player ranks those things and what they provide, different percentages to each one. But each one of them has a bearing, right? And the thing with Malik that was, as you go through that, that time, the bond and the friendships, the relationships, that's one that tends to be really, really strong for him because he is a leader of this football team. He's such a positive breath of air every day. I mean, every day in practice, when we start flex, I mean, that's who I go to, because he's always got a smile on his face. He's always going to ask me, "You good, coach?" And that means a lot to me when someone asks you that. And he sincerely means it. Just you think about all the times, and as we were going through that, I couldn't get the picture out of my head of, I think it was the North Carolina game maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, where he was up on somebody's shoulders, jumping around on the field. Was it North Carolina? After the game, and some fan like picked him up on his shoulders, and he was like jumping around. There's a picture of him, and he has like a sign up, and I couldn't get that out of my head. And but Malik is such a vital part of this football team, from a chemistry, from a energy, from leadership. But everyone goes through different things in their lives, and has different things that they have to think through. And my job is to provide the guidance for them, to help them think through those things, and provide the information for what we can do at Georgia Tech to try to help them. And look, people that leave, people that come in, a lot of some of the best players and strongest leaders on our team we acquired from the portal, right? Because maybe they didn't have the experience they were looking for, or maybe they did have the experience they were looking for and they were looking for a different experience, right? So I think it's a good thing for these guys. It's a good thing if you understand how to manage it and how to work with it and how to use it. And I think our advantage here is we are very transparent. We are very honest with our guys, and our guys are very honest with us. And I don't ever want that to change. I don't want that transparency to ever change in the relationship between coaches and players. And I think that's something we have that's special here at Georgia Tech. And I wish, and when people do leave, I wish them nothing but success. I want these guys to have success in their lives and be able to graduate and go on and provide great lives for themselves afterwards. Right. So those relationships, when you build relationships over a course of 2 and 3 years, 4 years, right? Those are strong. Those aren't something you just cut ties with, right? I just tell them if they do leave that they better hope they're not on our schedule.
What makes you most proud about this particular football team?
Their resiliency, their toughness, their mental toughness, all the things that you can see when you turn the film on. I think Buster said it last night. We were, I think it was 5-4 after Virginia Tech. Is that right?
Yes.
After Virginia Tech. And coming home on the plane, I was very thinking, thought to myself, and was talking to, Buster and Tooch and Chris. And, we knew we needed, at that point in time, we needed a strong voice in front of them. Something had to be said. So instead of getting home and going on our way and catching up the next time we got together, I had everybody get off the bus and go straight to the team meeting room, and we had a team meeting. And really from that point forward, you've seen really a driven team. You've seen a team that's playing for each other, a team that's playing together, a team that truly buys into the no scoreboard, play the next play, faceless opponent. Right, because they could have gone one of two ways that night. They really could have. They had some adversity hit. They had adversity hit, for 2 weeks in a row. And I think we had a bye week after that, right? Yeah, we had a bye week. So, and I told them, I said, guys, 50% of the teams in the country right now are getting in their cars, going to their apartments, going to their dorms, right? And they're not going to be a team anymore because they're going to be thinking about what's next, right? They've given up on the season. I said, that's not going to be this team. That's not who we are. That's not why we've worked the way we've worked. And they all agreed. They all believe that. And I believe, who do we play the next week? And we play Miami the next week. So you grow in life from the challenges and the obstacles that you overcome. And, that's what we've continued to do. But at the same time, as you continue to grow from overcoming those obstacles and those challenges, right, then you have to grow with understanding how to handle success, and have continued success. So it's all part of the journey. It's all part of the process, right? And as much as we want it to happen right now, right, you have to have a high sense of urgency daily, but you also have to have patience for the long term, right, to build these principles into guys. And I've been very proud of that on the field, and it's a true reflection of them. The most proud I am, though, was that 3.0 GPA that we just got, which was the highest in the history of the football program in season, second highest all time. That's what I'm most proud of, because that shows what these young men are truly to their core, not just as a player on the field.
It's been about a month since you've seen any game action, but it's been about 2 weeks since you knew who you're playing against in the bowl game. So what's been your approach to prepare these guys?
For the first 2 weeks, if you'd come to our practices, you'd see that it's pretty game-like. It's pretty intense the first 2 weeks. We wanted to go out there and make sure that we played football. I mean, you play football in pads. You play football situations. We had a lot of situational football, a lot of scrimmaging, especially with the younger guys. You don't want to lose what gets you there, right? When you're building an identity of a team, right, that truly is who you are all the time. So you can't just say, well, it's a bowl game, well, now it's different. So we went out and we worked. We worked hard, and we got better. We addressed things that needed addressing. We had a lot of competition. We had competition within the practices. Different situational competitions. So, and then I'm a believer in you never start working on the opponent any longer than you normally would in a regular week. I think the routine becomes stale. I don't like going 10 days out, 12 days out, 14 days out working on the opponent, because then you lose focus. But just about the time you get done going through the practices to develop and get better as a team, it's time to start your game plan, and now it's about a week out, and that's how we approach it.
Time for a couple more.
Yeah, I was just curious about
Volley.
some of the younger defensive end guys, with Romelo leaving, you might have an opportunity to play guys like Jordan or
I like this crowd.
Thanks.
I wasn't talking to you two. All right, go ahead.
Or Montre. You might get a chance to play Jordan Boyd or Montre. Some of these guys who haven't played, and I'm sure that was part of the thought process too, going through the 2 weeks there. Maybe some of those guys might be ready to finally give you like a snappier Jacob Cruz. Like,
Yeah.
is there any of those guys that you kind of envision maybe having a larger role for the first time this season?
Well, Jordan plays opposite side. He plays the big end or the field end. But we are multiple in what we do with those guys. I'm excited about all of them. I'm excited a lot of those younger guys. Montre, he's coming along nicely. He's a guy that has gotten a lot of play in special teams this year. And it's hard to be a freshman now. It is. And we knew he's a guy that had a very high ceiling talent-wise, but he was going to take some time to develop. And he's a guy that didn't get here mid-year last year. He was a guy that got here in the summer. So his development is a little different than some of the others because of that. You look at Jordan, who came in January, Jordan Boyd that is, came in January. Well, that's an extra 6 months that he had in the weight room and going through spring practice and off-season conditioning. So, Cruz is another one that's starting to show up. He's another guy that came he's a year older than those guys, but has played a good bit his freshman year on special teams. Has played this year on special teams. You got to think now. Jacob Cruz was a high school wide receiver, safety / middle backer. He's never played at the line of scrimmage. So, it's taken a while just to learn how to play the game and, learn how to play it consistently, play hard all the time. But yet, here's all the technique you have to learn. So I'm excited for those guys. They've got good futures here. I'm excited to see them play, and excited to see Kevin as a senior be able to go out in his final game here at Georgia Tech and have a really good game.
Are you this cowbell trophy?
No, cowbell.
Do you know about it?
The rivalry trophy.
There's a
There's a cowbell.
cowbell that is presented to the winner of the Georgia Tech Vanderbilt game.
You don't know about it.
I thought that was Mississippi State.
Excuse me.
Mississippi
I thought that was Mississippi State.
Yeah, so you'll be playing for a cowbell tomorrow. That's all.
You guys have had it since 1966.
So I got here in 1996. Played until 2000. GA'd. Back here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years? 13, 12 years? Never seen a cowbell.
It's around. Ask Demetria or North about it. I bet they know.
Yeah.
Just put it in your ear.
There's a Birmingham Bowl trophy.
Yeah. It's the Vulcan.
Do you know what the Vulcan is?
I do.
Tell me about it.
And it symbolizes the iron in the city, iron trade. God of fire, right? It's a god of iron. One of the two. I've been to the top.
I don't think he's the god of iron.
It's
So
definitely.
it
Fire.
was the Pittsburgh of the South,
Yeah. Magic City.
the Magic City.
Yeah.
All right. So used to hold up would be a torch, but it was green or red, right? Based on if there'd been a traffic fatality, traffic accident in the city that day. Did you know that?
Yep, we learned that on field trips.
See there? There you go. And it's the largest statue, I believe. It's the largest statue outside of the Statue of Liberty. I don't know if it still is, but it was like, there was at the time, maybe it was the way it was built, or whatever, it was the largest statue outside of the Statue of Liberty. And then there used to be I don't know if it still is, on one of the buildings downtown, there was the largest replica of the Statue of Liberty anywhere. City of Statues.
Pretty cool to bring that one home.
And there was a Coach Bowden one at Sanford.
I think we've answered the question, have we had one too many press conferences?
Yeah.
This might be the most fun I've ever had at one.
Trying to keep it light.
No. Is that it?
Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Go Jackets.